Today we are working Psalm 47. Some traditional magical uses for Psalm 47 include to increase joy, to increase pleasure, and to increase happiness, to find love of all kinds, to get help from someone in power, and to reinforce the four cornerstones of prosperity: health, freedom, happiness, and love. Today, I'm going to gear Psalm 47 toward increasing our joy, but you can use it for anything you like, and whatever the seeds we find in the psalm, you can apply them to whatever your situation is that you brought to the psalm. The way we work psalm magic is simple, easy, and effective. We take the psalm that we're working and we recite it out loud all the way through once without stopping. This is commonly referred to as an incantation. When we finished with our incantation, we go back through the psalm and we consider each verse one at a time. We search for hidden, often called occult, meanings that lie within each verse. And we do our best to apply whatever the wisdom we find to the situation at hand. And it's through doing all of this that we dislodge those magic seeds from the psalm, and they are thus planted in the depths of our mind, where they take root, they grow. They blossom forth, and they bear fruit after their kind. And that is exactly what we are going to do together right now with Psalm 47. Oh, clap your hands, all ye people. Shout unto God with the voice of triumph. For the Lord Most High is terrible. He is a king. He is a great king over all the earth. He shall subdue the people under us, and the nations under our feet. He shall choose our inheritance for us, the excellency of Jacob whom he loved, Selah. God is gone up with a shout, the Lord with the sound of a trumpet. Sing praises to God, sing praises unto our King, sing praises. For God is the King of all the earth. Sing ye praises with understanding. God reigneth over the heathen. God sitteth upon the thrones of his holiness. The princes of the people are gathered together, even the people of the God of Abraham. For the shields of the earth belong unto God. He is greatly exalted. This is a psalm addressing the congregation. And the congregation for us in magic is all the thoughts in our mind. It's getting our mind focused. It's getting our mind together. Whenever it's addressing the congregation, it really wants us to focus our thoughts on whatever it is telling us to do. And here it's telling us to rejoice and to make noise. It says, Oh, clap your hands, all ye people. Shout unto God with the voice of triumph. Now, you can use your physical hands and your physical voice to do this if it works for you. But ultimately, what we're talking about with the hands is what you use to do things in the world. It's how you act in the world. If your hands are clapping, that means the things that you do in the world are for the purpose of rejoicing. That everything you do is a reflection of rejoicing. Shout unto God with the voice of triumph. Your voice represents your will. Whatever you do and whatever you will is all about rejoicing. And the voice of triumph is your will to triumph, your will to succeed, your will to have things work out. For the Lord Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. Terrible meaning more powerful than anything that we can conceive of. And since the Lord Most High, meaning the one power, the one source, the one force, the one substance in all the universe, there is but one. And since there's but one, there's nothing that can oppose it. And this is why psalm magic is so powerful, because we orient toward this with each and every piece of magic we work. The Lord Most High, the one power, the one source, the one force, the one substance in all the universe, is very powerful, all-powerful. He is a great king over all the earth. So when we are using our will and our actions to rejoice in the fact that the infinite is one with us and we are one with the infinite, all of our circumstances reflect that. And that's what it means when it says he is a great king over all the earth being the manifest circumstances in your life. So if there's anything in your life that you're needing to change, needing to improve, needing to upgrade, this is how to do it. Turn all of your forces to rejoicing. He shall subdue the people under us, and the nations under our feet. The people are the thoughts in your mind, and the thoughts in your mind are the causes of the effects in your life. When the infinite subdues your thoughts under you, that means that you're getting the aid that you are requesting in whatever you brought to the psalm. He's getting your mind focused so that the causative plane is thus focused on your desires rather than running amok, miscreating in your world. And the nations under our feet. The nations are overarching thought forms, very powerful thought forms that exist within our mind. Many of these we've come up with ourselves. Many of these we have latched onto with the collective consciousness of all humanity. And it says that he's going to subdue all of those thought forms under our feet. Under our feet means our understanding. We're going to understand why we have what we have in our lives, and we are going to understand how we can change the things in our lives based on cause and effect, based on the truths that have been established, the laws of the universe. And those laws are part of what this power is. This one power, this one force in all the universe includes all the laws of creation. And when we understand those laws of creation under our feet, then we have power over the circumstances in our lives. He shall choose our inheritance for us, the excellency of Jacob, whom he loved, Selah. So our inheritance comes from Jacob. Jacob in the Psalms reminds us our inheritance is not dependent upon whether we do everything right. It's not dependent on our actions whatsoever. Just like in the story in the Bible when Jacob made all kinds of mistakes and didn't do everything right, and yet the infinite initiated Jacob anyway. And the same is true for us because every character, everything in the Psalms represents us personally when we are working it magically. So the Jacob within you is you that's doing your best, don't always get it right. Sometimes you get it really wrong. Sometimes you do great. It doesn't matter to the infinite. The infinite's got you. God is gone up with a shout, the Lord with the sound of a trumpet. When it says God has gone up with a shout, it means that we have connected with the infinite, with our will. The trumpet is another ancient symbol of rejoicing. And so when we're rejoicing with our trumpet and with our voice, our will is to become one with the infinite, and then we go up with the infinite. We and the infinite have always been one, but when we understand our oneness with the infinite, nothing can stop us. Nothing can touch us. We can have, be, or do anything that is our will. The infinite wants us to do our will, and our will, with a capital W, is sacred. Now, the ego has its own version of will with a small w, and that has nothing to do with what we're talking about because the ego's will is for problems and for upset and for separation and for delay. This psalm is directing us into our oneness with the infinite and understand our oneness with the infinite, and ego can't exist in that relationship. For God is the King of all the earth. Sing ye praises with understanding. When you are one with the will of the infinite, nothing can stop you. Nothing. God being the King of all the earth means that the infinite's will is all-powerful over every circumstance in your life, every manifest circumstance in your life. And when you are at one with that will, and you recognize that oneness, those circumstances must reflect that will. Your true will is one with the will of God. Your true will means everything that's going to make you happy. The career, the money, the relationships, the spiritual practice, the health, whatever it is. If it's not making you happy, it's not the will of the infinite. The will of the infinite is for your joy, is for your happiness. So when you recognize that and you read this, verse number 7, for God is the King of all the earth, That means the infinite's will for you is happiness. Sing ye praises with understanding, more understanding. When you praise this understanding, when you give praise to the fact that the infinite's will for you is happiness, the infinite's will for you is joy, and that everything that you need, require, desire in order for that joy to be manifest in your life, when you recognize that that is the infinite's will for you and you praise that, then that praise causes those manifestations to expand. Praise and understanding. Everything that you praise expands. Everything that you praise expands. And if you understand that, then when you're having problems, you can find something within the problem that's praiseworthy, and you can focus that praise on whatever that small, seemingly insignificant thing is within the problem, and you notice that the problem starts to correct itself because the praise is expanding the good and expanding the ability for that problem to solve itself. God reigneth over the heathen. God sitteth upon the throne of his holiness. So when God reigns over the heathen, that means that if you have those thought forms and those thoughts that are causing you problems, and you recognize your oneness with the infinite, you're giving right of way to the infinite to correct those thoughts, to correct those errant thought forms that are causing you so much trouble. It's not magically effective or astute to ask the infinite to change your circumstances, because the infinite didn't create your circumstances. It's much more astute to ask the infinite to change your thoughts about your circumstances, because when the thoughts are changed, then the causative principle is changed and the circumstances follow suit. You don't ask the infinite to change the echo. You ask the infinite to change the sound that caused the echo. God sitteth upon the throne of his holiness. The throne of the holiness of the infinite is in your heart, within you, not far away from you. It's deep inside of you. It's the core of you. If you use that visual that I like to use of a sun that is extending beams of light, if you think of the core of the sun as being the infinite and the beam of light, one of the beams of light is you, your soul, where is the source of that? It's deep within. So you look within you to find the infinite, not outside of you. God sitting upon the throne of his holiness within you is found by finding your own poise and your own peace. When you are peaceful, poised, and serene, then you and the infinite are one, and you have found where the infinite is sitting upon the throne of its holiness. The princes of the people are gathered together, even the people of the God of Abraham. The princes are powerful people, powerful ideas, powerful goings-on. And the people are your thoughts. They are the rulers of your thoughts. And it says that they're gathered together, and that's what a thought form is. It's a focused idea. Even the people of the God of Abraham. The people of the God of Abraham are thoughts based around faith. Abraham represents faith. Do not think of these characters as being historical figures when you're working magic. Think of that as being your center of faith within you. That's who Abraham is. And the God of that faith is the God that can rule over all of these thought forms that thus create the circumstances in your life. And the idea today is that these thought forms are based on joy because that's the infinite's will for you. And if you connect with the joyous thought forms that are the infinite's will for you, your circumstances reflect that joy, reflect that happiness. For the shields of the earth belong unto God. He is greatly exalted. You do not have to protect yourself from things that you're worried about or afraid of. The shields of the earth, the things that are going to protect you on earth, come from the infinite who is within you. And he is greatly exalted. And so the way to find that infinite within you is to exalt your thinking. It's to think the highest thoughts that you're capable of. If you are noticing that you're ruminating over how bad everything is, recognize that that doesn't come from the infinite. The infinite's thoughts are of joy, are of peace, are of happiness, are of success, are of love. when you're exalting those thoughts, thinking the highest thoughts that you're capable of, then you are at one with the infinite consciously. But if you're not thinking of those things, the infinite isn't going to come in and force you to change your mind. The infinite's waiting patiently for you to ask. If you ask to be shown, how do I change my thoughts? How do I change my mind on the subject? The infinite is ready and able to help you and to show you how to do that. The infinite is always exalted, and if we're not experiencing the infinite, it's because we have not exalted ourselves. Because when we exalt our thoughts, then automatically we are at one with the infinite. So this is a very brief psalm, but a very powerful one that can turn your mind around very quickly to understand the truth of any situation and save you a lot of time, a lot of pain. And you get right down to the brass tacks and you understand how the infinite works and what the infinite wants for you and the infinite's will for you. And then when you come in contact with that will and you're willing for that to be the truth of your mind and you're willing for those old thought forms to be replaced with the thought forms of the will of the infinite, then you're going to notice that the circumstances in your life reflect the same joy and happiness that the infinite has for you in your thought forms. So you just keep coming back to the same psalm again and again, and you will eventually get a sense of peace and certainty about whatever it is that you brought to the psalm. It may happen very quickly. It may take a little time, but be patient. And when you get that sense of peace and certainty that everything's going to be working out for you, that's a sign to you from your deep mind that your spell has been cast, and you don't have to work on it anymore. In fact, it's best if you put it out of mind and move on to something else. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I so appreciate you. Until next time, blessed be.